Rise and shine. It is time to get the day started with the morning show of record for the Homestead community, the Farm2Table Direct Show. Good morning, everybody, and welcome in. Welcome in. Another nice chilly day to start the day out here. It is an amazing 24 degrees outside, 25. It just turned 25, high today, 47. We're not going over to Jack today. I didn't get that loaded up in time, so you'll just have to bear with me on that. But anyway, it is a cold and chilly day out there, and more cold to come. Welcome in, everybody. Good morning. Just a reminder, this is a live chat event, so please feel free to join in on the chat box over there, and your comment could be read, and I'll certainly try to say good morning to you. So let's jump right in with this morning. Good morning, Robbie. How you doing, brother? Hope things are going well. Uh, I hope everybody had a pretty good Monday. Hope everybody got through yesterday okay. At first day back, I know for me a long weekend and then back to work and 26 down there. Yep, it's not much difference. Pretty chilly early in the morning. That's the way it goes, and hopefully it. I'd like to say good morning, Scotty. Glad to see you again, brother. I hope your test went well yesterday. Hopefully, I don't know if you got the results back, but hopefully that goes well. And uh, anyway, we're going to jump on into today. I'm a little off. My work schedule got all thrown out. Well, work schedule was fine, but I didn't get home till late. Had a meeting last night that I didn't get home till pretty late, so threw me off my rhythm a little bit today as far as getting things done. But no excuses. We got to press on. We got to press forward. So let's jump right into today's reality smackdown. Just a few headlines that are happening out there in the world today. So first things first, let's see. Here we go. Let's get the click screen. China considers a shocking. Oh, let's get the ad up and read that. China considers shocking move. Elon Musk to take over TikTok in the U.S. Now, those who know there's been a ban or whatever, and it's going to the Supreme Court. But the Chinese government's reportedly considering allowing Elon Musk to acquire TikTok's U.S. operations and merge it with his social media platform X. Should the U.S. Supreme Court uphold a ban on the short video app? If the deal goes through, X would take control of TikTok's U.S. branch. Has 170 million users around. Two platforms would be operated together. Merger could be valued between billions and billions. I imagine so. Uh, ByteDance, the parent company of TikTok, denied commenting on the speculation, returning it as pure fiction while continuing to fight the ban. That have a role in any potential sale of TikTok, complex negotiations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. That could be a thing. Uh, let's see. Oh, doctor said her heart was in good shape. Good morning, Joy Bartlett. Glad to have you in here. That is awesome news, Scotty. So glad to hear that. As somebody who has a small heart issue. Well, I say small. I've got an aneurysm on my aortic root. But anyway, enough of that. It's manageable right now. Anyway, glad to hear that, Scotty. That's the answer to prayers right there. Uh, so anyway, we'll get back into the news headlines. TikTok, if that were to happen, of course, a lot of people know that there was a ban that's set to go in effect pretty soon. They're fighting it in the courts, and I know a couple of friends, people that I know, friends that are really kind of having to watch this situation. They do reset. They have a retail store. They sell clothing stuff, and a large portion of their sales comes from their videos and stuff on TikTok, and they're super stressed, as well as our friends down at Bar 7 Ranch down in Texas. I know they're big, huge TikTok stars, and a lot of their stuff comes from there. So, that TikTok ban lingering. I don't know what everybody's opinion about TikTok is. I've got my own as far as its ownership being from the Chinese, and my wife asked me last night if it was wasn't it spyware? And I'm like, well, yeah, but it all is. I mean, you know, mention something around your, any of your eye devices or anything, or look at something, any kind of mention about something, it'll show up in your ads on Facebook and everything else. All of a sudden, it's kind of uncanny how that all links together, but it does. Let's see. So there it is with TikTok. Be interesting to see. We've seen what Elon's done with X and everything, which we're happy to be over there now. But anyway, next up, this is kind of an important one. Let's see. I mean, I say it's important. It's kind of crazy what's going on in this whole world. But anyway, Gaza ceasefire negotiators close to reaching a deal, Israel says. Negotiations resumed in Qatar on Tuesday. Both sides saying they were close to agreeing to a deal. Could bring an end to more than a year of conflict in the Palestinian territory. Indicated ceasefire was imminent. Uh, anyway, that guy. Final details were underway. He said talks reached final steps. So hopefully, I'm all about that, and I'll tell you, I'm all about. Wild Huckleberry, same thing. I personally don't have an account backing up to the TikTok. Uh, I think that's a pretty common feeling with a lot of people. I didn't get a good feel about it either. My wife and I, so I don't have a personal account. We have the channel has an account. Keith manages that, and apparently it's gotten a lot better. Well, not TikTok. I'm sorry. I had X in my head for some reason. No, don't have TikTok. Haven't done it. I've seen a lot of TikTok videos people send me, but hadn't actually got onto it. The same reason. But anyway, back to this Gaza ceasefire. Uh, Man, I hope so. But we still haven't gotten our American hostages back. We still got people over there. And that's a whole other issue. It'll get me fired off, and I don't really want to do that too much this morning. But it's, you know, uh, we've got situations going on over there, and I think it's needs to be handled. But you know, whatever side a person comes down on that, uh, I got major issues, and we don't want to get into that too far on this. As far as just my opinions of both sides, militarily, understanding why and what, and I know there's others uh, in the community that have some pretty strong opinions, and we don't always agree. That's okay. That's the beauty of it. We don't have to. We'll still be friends. Um, but you know, hopefully that gets resolved soon, and they can move. Now, one that's coming up, in fact, we're less than a week away, is the next headline, which is Trump inauguration puts security officials on high alert in Washington. I would imagine so. Uh, as they say, they're starting to erect some of those fences we've seen around the Capitol and everything before. Uh, anyway, security chalk measures to higher threat environment. Hotel, they're expected to be down. Yeah, people aren't wanting to be up around there right now. They don't trust it anymore. Uh, Swearing in the steps of the Capitol, parade to White House. Anyway, so yeah, it's inauguration follows campaign marked by two attempts on his life, and that is important to remember. So I mean, it's kind of a crazy deal. So anyway, I'm going to take the oath of office, members of Congress, Supreme Court, incoming administration, tens of thousands of others looking on. Anyway, so I don't know. Let's see where we're at here. I, you know, there was a contest here where we were drawing giveaway for tickets to the inauguration. It was like you win two tickets, airline fare, some cash to spend, whatever. And me and the wife talked about it. It's like, yeah, it'd been awesome to have been there. I mean, it would be cool to get to go see it. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I don't think I'd want to be in that crowd, especially with the way things have been this year. Uh, Things have been kind of hectic and scary, and I don't think I personally would have wanted to have been in that crowd. I don't think I would even today want to be in that crowd with the potential of things that could go crazy. Uh, the last time a bunch of folks went up there, it ended up not too good. So, a lot of fallout. So I just said, let's not do that. So, don't think I would have won it anyway, but, always nice to think, I guess. Everybody likes to win something. Uh, so anyway, guys, let's see. Let's move on. You know, a lot of stuff going on in the world. It's always sometimes hard to pick headlines, and sometimes you go through and you find stuff, and it just kind of, you know, what's going on. The TikTok being the top one, I think that's it's on a lot of people's minds that are involved in that. But anyway, so let's go to this day in history. Uh, let's see. Let me get my page turned here. I told you I am off this morning just a hair bit. But we'll get it done. Matter of fact, let me grab a cup of coffee. That helps. Anyway, all right, now for this day in history. I got a feeling today, huh? Sometimes you click on things and it just doesn't give you what you want. Oh, well, guys, it gave me the wrong day and I didn't catch it. Let's see what we can do here on this day in history. I'm gonna kind of have to do something different. Let's see, historical events. Let's see it. See if I get down through here. See if it's me or if it's doing a little check before I start. Oh no, I guess I did have it right. Okay, let's go back over here. Yeah, sometimes you have those technical difficulties, and the show must go on. 1784, U.S. Congress of the Confederation ratifies the Treaty of Paris, ending the Revolutionary War. Anyway, that was a good thing. 1960, U.S. Army promotes Elvis to sergeant. How about that? Oh, Elvis made it to sergeant in the Army. A lot of people things sure changed a few years later, when people didn't want nothing to do with the Army, and I can't necessarily say I blame them, but it was a definite cultural shift in people joining celebrities, athletes, that type of thing, and kind of what went on there. But then, you come fast forward to early 2000s and things in Iraq, and you got people like the late Pat Tillman who, gave up lucrative careers to go join other people. So, I mean, there's been some cultural shifts in that. But, Elvis, king of rock and roll, as they called him. But anyway, Elvis made sergeant. Anyway, 1972, year of my birth, Sanford and Son, starring Red Fox and DeMontis, premieres on NBC TV. Who remembers that old show? Anyway, my wife says I'd be Sanford. But if I had my way, I'd have all junk piled around like that. I don't know, maybe. But anyway, and 2020, we're going to jump a big old jump forward. Who all remembers Jeopardy? Maybe some of y'all still watch it. I don't know. I used to watch it all the time. But anyway, U.S. Game Show Jeopardy, greatest of all time tournament, won by Ken Jennings, and everybody remembers how many he won. And just that guy, yeah. Anyway, the whole deal with Jeopardy there, of course, the late Alex Trebek and all that. Great show. But anyway, those are some of the things that happened in history as we look back on it. So anyway, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right.
Hey, coffee lovers, want the freshest, tastiest brew? Say hello to Farm2Table Direct Coffee. At Farm2Table Direct Coffee, we offer premium beans handpicked for ripeness. Place your order, and our expert roasters get to work. Your coffee is roasted and shipped the very same day. It's that simple. Stay updated with notifications at every step. For the freshest custom roasted coffee, visit farm2tabledirect.coffee.com. That's farm, the number 2, tabledirect.coffee.com. Experience the difference Farm2Table Direct Coffee can make in your morning routine. From the farm to your table, the freshest coffee.
Oh, I hate it when that thing cuts off like that. One of those little, there we are, we're back. One of those little technical things that happens on our restream sometimes. It will end the video, just kind of weird. But anyway, so yeah, Farm2Table Direct Coffee. Great in your cup every morning. That's a fact. I'm enjoying mine right now. Anyway, so moving on, let's jump right into the main topic this morning, which is why factory farming is the title that I put on that. And it's like, well, what is factory farming? And honestly, it's just another word for commercial farming. And in particular, when it comes to animals, not so much crop agriculture, but anyway, I stumbled across this article, And the actual article is 4 reasons why factory farming still exists despite being reviled by just about everyone by Kenny Torella. And we're going to pull that up and kind of bump through that a little bit and see what he had to say about it and kind of get into it. And I'll share some of my thoughts. 4 reasons why factory farming still exists despite being reviled by just about everyone. You see a picture of the old little piglets there. Anyway, on a farm in Iowa, there it says. But anyway, he's a senior reporter for Vox's Future Perfect section, focused on animal welfare and the future of meat. Reader asked, why is factory farming still around? Now, what they classify as factory farming is the intensive confinement of chickens, pigs, and cows on a massive scale. This was developed in the second half of the 20th century to feed a growing and increasingly prosperous post-World War II America, made possible by a set of economic, genetic, chemical, and pharmaceutical innovations, as his colleague Maria Bolotnikov, has written. Innovations include technologies enabled meat companies and farmers to breed bigger, faster growing animals, antibodies to keep those animals alive in overcrowded farms, chemical fertilizers, pesticides to produce abundant, cheap livestock feed, high-tech tractors to harvest that feed, a host of other federal subsidies loan programs to help the farmers finance it all, advancements in refrigeration and shipping help too, stunning amounts of meat on our plate. 2021 sub 265 pounds annually per American. Anyway, it's quite a bit of meat. We like our meat. Factory farming became a dominant form of livestock production. Problems started in the 90s. Undercover investigations exposed egg-laying hens stuffed into tiny cages, piglets crammed into dark warehouses. '06 UN identified animal agriculture's top driver of climate change, whatever you think of that. But anyway, public interest rallied against social ills, concentrated pollution, meat monopolies, killed the independent farmer, and the dangers of slaughterhouse work. But today, almost 3/4 of Americans report discomfort with factory farming, most pressing social issues. I don't know about that one, but anyway. So why do these facilities still exist? Why are they getting bigger and bigger? One, it is efficient by some measures. For all of factory's problems, it can claim spirit on a few key metrics. Factory farms animals are packed indoors or on feedlots that require less land, breeding them to grow bigger and faster on less food. Brought down meat. Man, I don't know about that carbon footprint stuff. Now, some of these people are, they're buying all that, whatever. Yeah, and price is often priority number one for consumers. No doubt about that. As the price of everything has gone up. Inflation, cost of eggs. I seen the other day, well, one of our shows the other day, uh, how much a dozen, even in the bulk egg, buy in the box store. Anyway, all efficiency gains meat industry made. Anyway, I'm gonna get into what that is. Let me see. Number two, agriculture plays by its own set of rules. Packing thousands of means together in one facility creates concentrated air, water. Anyway, health powers. I don't know. Anyway, livestock industry gets away with this concept called agricultural exceptionalism. Food is essential, basically. This person's definitely on the pollution thing. Take these exemptions away, not so efficient or affordable. That's his thing there. Well, say, I hate it when it jumps like this. Anyway, he says animals don't have rights. Because factory farms, most immediate victims of chickens, pigs, cows, fish obviously can't do so. Anyway, don't lie to you folks, it's kind of a little bit lefty, ain't it? But anyway, that's kind of what's going on. It's just low welfare breeding practice, overcrowding, and the meat paradox. Many people in other high-income countries, vowed animal lovers, say they oppose factory farming, yet continue to eat meat. Virtually all of it factory farms. Group psychological effect between dietary preference. Anyway, face that distance, try to resolve it. Anyway, consumers face a sea of myths and disinformation, including this article. Meat companies lying about how they treat animals. Uh, anyway, this person, saying that they're deriving all our meat dairy from factory farms. Uh, anyway, so as you can see, I'm going to stop sharing that. Little bit of a left lean in there, and that's okay. I'll bring in their thought process on things from time to time, and now we'll get into kind of my thought process. I'll be the first to tell you that I've currently work around and have worked around what would be commercial uh, farming, commercial, that side of what they would call factory farming, um, and what it is for several years now. In fact, the majority of the last 15, 16 years. Commercial poultry, uh, transportation in that, still work there in that. So I go out to these farms that are, have all these houses with the birds packed in there. And listen, I'll be the first to tell you, you pack, you know, a lot of birds in those houses, and it isn't the best environment. And I'll be the first to tell you that, you take a chicken from a little chick to 7.5 pounds in 50 something days. It doesn't take a real smart person to know that that's not the roosters and chickens in your backyard pen. That's not the chickens that are, they are. It's a cross hybrid breed chicken. Designed to produce more meat. And it goes back to the science that they talked about in that first part of that article when they were actually still on track before before some of their opinions got in there a little too deep for my taste. But I still wanted to share the article because it brought up an important question. Why do we still do it? Because they're right. A lot of people don't like it. Guy that I hauled cattle from farms to the sale barn, from sale barns to the feedlot, from feedlots to the process, on the processing places, all varieties of that stuff involved around it. And if you look at it from that side, it can be an ugly business. And the guy that I drove the cattle truck for, who owned the truck that I drove, when I first went to work for him, he had a commercial pig farm where they bred pigs. And yeah, they are in these big barns, and it's a breeding program, and it's in mass. We don't like to dig in sometimes to where the food that's on the box store comes from, or how it's processed and how it gets there. But that is the reality of it. That is what we see. We're out there, and like I said, I work in that industry. It's primarily it's a job at home. It pays pretty good, and got bills to pay, just like anybody else does. And I'm not on the business end of that. I just pick them up and transport them to the plant. Same thing with the cattle and stuff. Um, but that is where a large portion, in fact, almost all of our commercial meat. Now, how's ways around that? Well, very simple, grow your own. Uh, but I was reading with Joel Salatin the other day, and he was talking about, that even in the backyard blocks, that there's some of the, people don't take care of their chickens properly and that type of thing. They get mud and they don't clean them, they don't keep them dry. There's, things that make a healthy chicken, and they let them grow too old, etc. But we are a culture that the majority of eats processed food. They buy from the box stores, retailers. They eat out restaurants, fast food, et cetera, et cetera. And that's not going to change. I don't think anytime soon. There's those of us that are trying to move away from that more and more. I'm not there yet. In fact, Keith and I will begin to share more, but we're beginning a journey in 2025 that we're going to try to take you all along with. I don't have it all here, but it's basically a scale of where we're at on food dependence to food independence or freedom, and where we're at from consuming as consumers, with a consumer scale, to how much of our stuff comes from box stores and fast food or bags, to how much is homegrown or sourced locally. We'll get more into details. This is something that we just kind of got into yesterday, is planning our 2025 uh, programs and kind of looking at where we're going. But anyway, we'll get more into that later. You know, most people, if they went out, and I'm glad most people can't see or don't get to go see uh, commercial agriculture in the sense of animals and that type of thing, and what the circumstances are, because honestly, uh, it's not always pretty. But it's. I also keep in mind that those chickens and the cows and the pigs, all stuff. I mean, I blame Disney. Good morning, there, Trey, in the kitchen and garden with Tracy. Glad to see you in with us this morning for a few. Uh, you know, we have, we've, in the sense of humanized, and I ain't for animal cruelty or anything like that, but I'll also defend that these animals, these chickens, pigs, cattle, uh, that's what they're raised for. It's what they're bred for. That's what they're raised for. Now it should still be handled in a way that is, you know, as environmentally friendly as possible and as humane as possible. But keeping in mind that they're that was their purpose and function that they were bred for, created for, and this is the world we become. It is a very fragile system, and it is a large system, uh, and it's got a lot of problems. But until more and more people begin to grow their, either raise their own or buy from those who produce, and that's going to be a lot of the stuff we continue to go through this year is, shopping locally, buying locally, or sourcing, or if you don't want to grow, because listen, not everybody is going to homestead. Not everybody's going to have animals and have crops, gardens, and raise their own animals and live off grid and do those things. So until then, the majority of Americans, there's 330 million in our country alone. Uh, they're going to get their stuff from these big box stores, centralized food system. The more and more people are beginning to get interested in whole food, uh, things that are raised better, raised differently, and that's a good benefit to the small farmer, the small rancher, who practices different things. In tomorrow's episode, we're going to get into grain, grass-fed, grass-finished versus grass-fed, grain-finished. When it comes to cattle and what the differences are and why you might choose one over the other, uh, and the percentage that is one way or the other and why. Uh, so it's kind of a big topic there. We'll get into that tomorrow. Um, Again, this morning with the factory farming, just want to kind of, this person's take on, why they still exist because a majority of people don't like to see it. But yet there they are and they exist and, uh, kind of where it's at. And some of the conditions, like I said, could improve. I've heard people say, if you ever went to a feedlot, you wouldn't buy beef at the store. Man, for some people that may be true. Um, so just things to consider, things to put out there. Yeah, it's Tracy, I you know worked in that business for a while. I've been to the feedlots, but too many years in the military where that stuff. I'm just, I guess, in a sense, maybe a little desensitized to it. It was impressive. It's amazing. It is also quite disgusting when you're out there and you know see the conditions that a lot of those commercial meat is raised in and processed in and grown in. It's not the prettiest. I'll admit that. Um, and I'd much prefer that it not be that way. But until people, like I said, eat. Anyway, so yeah. Tomorrow with the thoughts. Thank you. I'm glad to join us. We'll be back here at 6, and we will get into, like I said, uh, grain finished versus grass finished, and what the differences are, and some of the labeling, even with that, why they get away with some things that are claimed to be uh, grain finished or that are or grass finished that may not necessarily be. So anyway, that will be tomorrow's show, and it is going to be should be interesting. We'll learn together just a little bit more about the difference of meat. So anyway, appreciate everybody joining in this morning. Let's go over some upcoming events right fast. Of course, January 18th and 19th. So that's coming up this weekend. Western Reserve Homestead Summit, Lake Metro Park Farm Park in Kirtland, Ohio, and that is coming up this weekend. Of course, March 21st, 22nd, Okie Homestead Expo, Mays County Fairground, Pryor, Oklahoma. Tickets are on sale now, $50 for a 2-day pass. We at the Farm2Table Direct Show will be there at that one. Uh, and it is get your stuff booked. I know they put out on their website, Okie Homestead Expo, not their website, their Facebook page, a list of RV parks and hotels in the area. Excuse me, there's Airbnbs and et cetera, things there like that. I know that's the direction we went this year. So anyway, that's coming up soon. The Shindig Ozark Living Expo, April 25th, 26th at Newton County Fair and Rodeo in Jasper, Arkansas. So that was a little further out. But anyway, it's one coming up in Arkansas. So looking forward to that. And of course, we'll continue until they tell us they're out to promote Homesteaders of America Conference 2025 in Frontville, Virginia. Tickets on sale now. It's $50 for a 2-day pass. These sell out quickly. I know they have sold more than half of their available tickets. So, I mean, then we were told they go fast, and we've seen the evidence. So that's if you're interested, you live out on that side, or you're willing to travel, worth looking. And we will be bringing more as we get more dates in and get things more confirmed. So anyway, folks, well, that's a wrap for today on the Farm to Table Direct Show Morning Edition. Thanks for joining me as we explore the headlines and stories impacting our world now and for the future. Thanks for allowing me to kind of stumble through a little bit this morning and kind of get it put together. You know, sometimes it happens that way. Have a title, have a topic, know where you're going, and then life just gets in the way. And that's where it was at yesterday. By the time I got home from my meeting, I was mentally spent. So this morning, got up, tried to put all this together. A lot going on in the world. Keep the world, keep all of us in the prayers. Praise report, good news for Scotty. I'm glad to hear that, brother. That things checked out well on your heart. So anyway, if you enjoyed today's show, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to channels on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. It is the best way to stay connected and help grow the conversation about food, farming, and community. So until next time, keep your roots deep, your vision's growing. Good food starts with great people. Remember, we are #Stronger Together. Be a blessing to someone today, and we will see you on the other side. And I'm going to hand it over
No
to Pete.
humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.